EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martin here with your outlook for March 4th, 2019. For your Monday, we're going to have the system that affected the region overnight with some snow and a mixed bag of precipitation is going to move away from the region fairly quickly. So any morning clouds we're expecting to give way to sun today. I don't think the clouds are going to hang around too long. Should turn to partly cloudy skies. We should get some of that snow and ice melting that's out there. Now, we did have some pretty high totals here in the interior, and a lot of those places did, in fact, hit those ranges. We had some trouble here on the southeastern fringe, though, nearest that thermal gradient that we talked about. And we discussed that in the wildcards in our technical discussion. If you go to the high-resolution rapid refresh from last night at 11 p.m., we did have a push of warm air aloft, pretty high, even northwest of I-95. We figured the cutoff would have been right along I-95. I-95 runs right like this all the way up to New York City and keeps going, of course. But you see the sleet actually made it into parts of Chester, Delaware, Philadelphia counties, even extreme southern Montgomery County got into some sleet here with this system. So I wasn't expecting to get that far northwest, but I mean, we're only talking about the difference of a couple miles here, and that makes a huge difference in a storm like this when you're talking about a very tight gradient of rain versus snow. I mean, it was 34 degrees here in Philadelphia and raining. It was 34 at the same time in Pottstown, and it was snowing. So we also had an issue with this being very heavy, wet snow. So even in the areas that did stay snow in parts of, like, say, southern Montgomery and Bucks counties, a lot of those places got 3-4 inches of snow. And it's not because they didn't get 6 inches of snow that was forecast. 6 inches fell, or actually more than 6 inches fell. It just was an issue with the temperature. It's kind of hovered around 34, 35 degrees, and it came down heavy enough where it was sticking, but it was kind of melting at the same time and compacting. So you realize the amount on the ground was a lot less than indicated. Now, up here in the Lehigh Valley, back to Harrisburg, and up into northern New Jersey, that corridor right there was our real jackpot zone. Northern Bucks, northern Montgomery, you guys did very well. All right, we met projections there, and of course, all the way up here in the northwestern areas, those hit projections as well. It was just this area right here that was low, and that's just because of that thermal gradient, and it shifted a little bit further northwest, and there's really no way around that. There's no way anybody could predict exactly what it's going to be. We had our hopes there for I-95. It went a little bit further northwest of I-95. It happens. It's March. That's what happens in March. So very tough calls with thermal gradients in March. If you're expecting a lot of snow southeast of 995 in the month of March, you're probably barking up the wrong tree. It doesn't really happen too often. So, I mean, it can, but it's going to take the exact perfect conditions for that to happen. So this system's out of the region. We're going to, again, turn partly cloudy today, kind of mid-30s-ish or thereabout. So we'll have some snow melt in March with the sun angle the way it is. It doesn't have to be that far above. Actually, it doesn't have to be above freezing at all, and you'll still have snow melt because of that higher sun angle. And then by the next couple of days, I don't think you're going to see much melting. If you still have snow around here on Tuesday, Wednesday, it's probably not going anywhere. We're going to have temperatures in the mid-upper 20s for highs. It'll be very cold for this time of year. To put that in perspective, normal high for this time of year in most areas is right around the mid-40s. So if you're only talking about mid-20s for highs, I mean, your mid-upper 20s, that's 15 to 20 degrees below average. So that's very cold temperatures relative to what it should be in early March. And the good thing is we're expecting partly to mostly sunny skies both days. Wednesday is going to be the colder of the 2 days between Wednesday, or colder of the 3 days between Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday, Thursday, probably about the same, upper 20s, probably mid-20s here on Wednesday. It's going to be the coldest of that 3-day stretch. After that point, we have another system that's going to move in at the end of the week. This is a little fast-moving system, not a real big deal, but it does have a wintry side to it, according to GFS, and at least for our areas. This one's maybe north of I-78. This has been shown for a couple of days now. Just no showers, it looks like. It's probably like a 1 to 3 type event. Again, it's coming in during the day. It's going to be colder, ahead of that. But again, you're getting deeper into March here. This is now looking at March 8th. I don't know. I mean, if you're having lighter snow, you might have some accumulation issues here. So I would go lower here with the projected amounts, despite what the snow maps might say. Even though it's only showing like a 2 to 4 type thing, we'll probably say this is going to turn into a 1 to 3 event for somewhere. And it might not exactly set up this way, where I-78 is the dividing line. We'll see how that works. It looks like further south you'll have a few rain showers or a rain-snow mix, but we'll get into the details of that as we progress throughout the week and see where this goes. And then after that, we're partly cloudy here on Saturday, and then Sunday or Saturday night we're going to have some snow initially. I know the GFS isn't showing this here, but it usually doesn't do well with the thermal gradient. maybe some snow or a mix to start, and then that's going to go over to rain, it looks like, on Sunday. I do think that happens. I think we go over to rain with this, and it's going to be a snow to rain type thing, even though the GFS is just showing rain throughout. Again, thermal gradient with the GFS is a little goofy once it gets in the longer range, and I think some other models are indicating at least some snow to start, and then going over to rain at some point on Sunday morning, and then continuing throughout the day. Here's a look at Sunday morning, and here is the afternoon with the rain moving through. So behind the system, I still expect it to turn milder. Everybody's been asking me about that. Are we going to flip to spring? Are we done with snow? I think we are done with snow after we get past this one right here. And this one's not going to be an all-snow event anyway. It's going to be kind of a slop storm like we've been very accustomed to this entire winter. But it looks like doesn't look like a huge hit on the front end. It looks like something that could maybe give you maybe a coating to an inch or two or something like that. Then it goes over to rain, washes it all away, and after that we turn milder, I think. After that point, I know I didn't get to the long range this week. We were busy with a couple snowstorms coming in, so we'll now get back in the normal swing of things. And I will have one more Weather Weeklies video coming up this Sunday. We did not have that this week either because I did not have time with all the stuff going on with last night's storm. So we will have one more, probably do it as more of a recap of what went right, what went wrong for the winter season, and we'll look ahead to the spring after that. It'll probably be the final Weather Weeklies video of the season. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for March 4th, 2019. Have a great Monday.